that pass game and run game kind of combination. So you can say they're similar as far as what drives the team, which is the run game, and that's how the only way I can see it. Strike our defense, physicality, the way we run to the ball, the effort, just the passion we play with out there. Just all the things you can't coach, the want to play, the want to run to the ball, the want to execute. I feel like we got a group of guys who don't want to let each other down, and we're going to do anything by any means to play for each other and make sure we're successful on our end.
Coach always talks about playing complementary football. So what have you guys done all season to be successful?
There's still kind of those areas that you want to try to what are those things that are, I know I'll be 100% I can do whatever. Like, what is that?
It's more of a field thing. Just certain power moves, certain moves that I have to drive on. It's just it's certain movements that I do that I can feel a little different, but it's not really much hindering. But you can feel it.
Who did you rely on most to kind of help you get through, those lowest points of your recovery process?
I would just say the D-line, and credit to PJ. Unfortunately, he had an injury as well, so we ended up right in the same place for our rehab. So it was like he was just the main guy. He was in my room before that. So he was one of the older guys that I leaned on, even when I was a freshman. Just seeing how he played and his approach to everything, how he worked. So that really just helped me. Really just finish out my rehab and really just keep that mentality all the way through, not like halfway through, I'm feeling like, I don't know, but, just seeing him come back again the next day, just kept me driven for sure.
What does having Smith back mean for you guys, and how do you think he handled what was obviously probably a difficult situation for him?
Having Smith back is big for us. He's been in the back behind the scenes working his tail off, and he hasn't been, complaining not one bit. So, just to have the guy that has that mentality of just, I just want to work, and, when my time comes, I'm there for it. Those are the guys you have to watch out for because they're sneaky talents that are very productive. So.
What are some of the sneaky talents he has?
Clear winner after this game. Yeah, so achievement like that is just like, unless it feels good because like unless all the work that you put in is paying off and things of that nature. But I feel like the job's never finished. So like when accolades like that come, I take it with a grain of salt because how quick somebody can get built up is the same way somebody can get brought down as well. So I'm just trying to keep a level mind and just stay ready for this game.
How do you balance an individual statistic like that with the overall team goals?
I feel like I don't really have to balance it because like it's really not nothing that I really think about all the time because like if to know it's definitely good to know and it lets me know that the work is paying off, but like the season isn't over yet, so I feel like I can't relax until after the season. So after this game, then that's when I really like take it in, but then after that, I got to get ready for next season and try to do better than this year.
What's your historical familiarity?
And I still think back to those 5 stops we made in a row in the fourth quarter. That really kick-started us and kind of got the whole season going. And Joey was a huge part. We don't win that game without Joey Porter. And we don't win that game, we're certainly not here talking to you and I in Los Angeles right now. So,
Manny, what's the year been like for you? Just, from going from a head coach to now coming to a new school coordinator. Has it kind of been refreshing going back and coaching and teaching and everything, or just what's it been like?
yeah, you could use that word. It's fun. Let's call it like it is. I loved being a head coach, but I absolutely love coordinating defenses. And I've said this before, but coaching a room, to be able to work with Abdul Carter and teach him from that guy showed up on August 1st and didn't know anything to now watching him play. I mean, that to me is what coaching is at its essence. And it's no different when you're a head coach. But when you're a head coach, you got 120 of them. When you're a corner, you got half of them, but when you're a position coach, you have 12 to 15 of them. And just watching them go from here to there. And again, what's been rewarding for me this year is that when I think of our defense in the Purdue game to where we were in the Michigan State game, we're a completely different animal. We're a different animal from where we were in the Michigan game. We were different in the Minnesota game. And really, week by week, I felt like we really got better and better. And the reason why is because Tyler Elston got better. Kobe King got better. Curtis Jacobs got better. And when you see the guys making the individual improvements, that is as a coach, that's the part that's rewarding. Because you see their confidence grow, you see them be able to play faster, you see them make more plays, and that's been the fun part of the journey this year.
Manny, you mentioned Curtis. From the film that we watched on him when he first
I feel like you just have to stay on your toes for him. He's obviously a great quarterback. Great in the pocket, great, but also great when he uses his feet. So you just have to be sound, be where you need to be, and make plays when they present themselves.
What's it been like for you watching Abdul kind of become who he's become, and how far has he come through the course of the season?
I feel like he made major steps. It's been consistent with him. Just being in the weight room, from seeing him in the weight room, just seeing him on the field running, to seeing him in practice, he just picks it up fast. And I feel like I just told the guy, once it got to it just being the same football game that he's played for years, it got easy for him. So it's about being one of those key guys and just development every time, just having that constant development.
A lot of guys have made decisions about next year. Are you anywhere where do you have a decision to make? Have you made any decisions? What's your status?
I feel like I'll have that decision done after this game. I want to put everything I have into it. I don't want to have anything else on my mind, and I feel like that's the best way to go for me.
And what can you tell me about Coach Diaz, what he brought to the table for your team this year? I know you were close with Coach Pry, but what did Coach Diaz kind of bring to the table?
He brought an aggressiveness and a swagger into our defense that it wasn't missing, but it needed to be addressed. And I feel like that was really what took us to the next level as a defense.
How was it addressed? I mean, was it just a mindset? How does a coach get that across? I guess is what I'm getting at.
I would say from the attitude that he brings into practice every day, the attitude that he brings when we're watching film. We don't watch film to watch it one-on-one. We have the whole team watching. So everything you put on tape and everything in practice you put on tape, your whole team sees. And he made that known day one. So that's really what got us. And then him bringing in the ideal of trust. We didn't really trust each other. I wouldn't say we didn't really trust each other as defense, but it wasn't all the way there. And I feel like 100% across the board, I trust every guy on the defense. And it's because of Coach Manny.
Thanks.
What do you feel like?
Then I ran him through the roster to see who he actually played with before he ended up in the NFL. You're a guy that he's spent some time with. He spent some time with the team this week. Just when you think about how historic the Rose Bowl teams have been, they were Big Ten champions, 1994, undefeated. Like, how special is it to be at that level, be one of those teams playing in a Rose Bowl?
Yeah, the magnitude. I mean, it speaks for itself. Not too many since I've been here. We haven't played in a Rose Bowl. I think we've only played in a handful. So guys can't take this opportunity for granted because like you said, it truly is special. But at the end of the day, we got a job to do. So we can't look too deep into that because our only job is getting in that win column, and we have to do whatever we have to do throughout the week to get that job done. Not saying we won't have fun. But at the end of the day, we got to get the job done, no matter what bowl or game it is.
How does you guys get into the second level and getting all those tackles for a loss really come down to attitude and toughness?
I wouldn't say toughness. I wouldn't say toughness. I'd say just doing your job at a high level. Toughness is definitely a part of it. If you don't have toughness, you don't have anything. But at the end of the day, if we're gap sound, if we're knocking our guy back on the offensive line, creating gaps for the linebackers to fill, you know, then we're right where we want to be. So, you know, we just got to be, we just, like I said, we got to have trust in each other that we're going to be where we're going to be at, and we're going to be there and doing our job at a high level. And if we do that, you know, the TFLs, tackles for lost sacks, they'll come.
So beyond the X's and O's, you're saying it's the trust, right?
It's always the trust. I mean, if you look at the great defenses, you know, not saying that they don't have talent, but they got that bond that runs deep that lets them know, okay, he's going to be where he needs to be.
Has it hit you that this is it? This is the last game coming up, and is it emotional?
Yeah.
What's it like?
I don't know. It really hasn't hit me. I don't know. It really hasn't hit me that, you know, this is my last game, but it has hit me that I'm not going to be able to spend more time with these guys in this locker room. And I think that's the part for me that I'm going to be most sad about, is just not being able to be in that defensive line room, not being able to be in them team meetings with all the guys having fun. It's going to be my last time. You know, I'm definitely looking forward to the game. But, you know, I'll be able to continue to play football. I won't be able to continue to play football with this group of guys.
What's it been like to have Smith back? I mean, we saw what he did in the bowl game last year,
Right.
and how proud are you of him? I don't know what the situation was, but he had to grind through some stuff, obviously, and for him to stick with it, what has that kind of meant to you and the rest of the guys?
Yeah, having him back. Everybody seen what he did in the Outback Bowl last year. So, you know, he can play football at a high level, and there's no doubt about that. We have a deep defensive end room, and adding him in there, it only gets deeper. So, you know, when you add on a high level defensive end, it helps the whole defensive line and the whole defense get better. So, you know, as far you know, as off the field, you know, yeah, he's had to grind, and he's done that. You know, everybody goes through things in life, and this was one for him. And as you can see, he's out there on the practice field. He's overcoming, and that's just the guy who he is. That's just the guy he is, and that's the guys we have in this locker room. When adversity comes, you know, we bounce right back and get to it.
PJ, have you been saving anything on your stomach for tonight?
I don't know. I've heard what this thing is about. I really don't know how much food I'm gonna be able to eat, but you know, I am looking forward to it. I get to do the cut. Like I said, I don't know too much about it, but I am excited for it, so I'm looking forward to it.
PJ, how does Monday's game impact the way you look at this season? Is it the difference between a good season and a great season?
Don't get me wrong. We've had a really good season, great season, 10-2. Not too. I mean, you look across the country, not too many teams who won 10 games. So I won't say that, but this game is extremely big for us. This is I don't know if they're in the top. I think they're in the top 10 opponent. Extremely good team. Extremely great players, and we're getting to play on the highest level possible. So, you know, this game is huge, but as far as our season, I think we put together a great season. Do we want to win? Absolutely. Is that our job? Absolutely, and that's what we came here to do. And there's nothing else I can say there as far as, you know, the game, but, you know, I think the stage is set. It's going to be a big one. So.
Shifting gears, you spent a lot of time last fall with the Diaz because both of you were out. What was he like back then? How did you help each other? How did you advise each other back then?
Yeah, he got hurt before me. So when I got in the training room, he was a little more ahead of where I was at when I got in there. So I would, you know, ask him questions, ask him how he's feeling. And still to this day, like, you know, if I'm a little sore, I'm like, hey, he said, you sore?
Is he changing the play after seeing what Maryland was going to do on defense?